Hey everyone, it's Van at CrossDoc. For the 2015-2016 Cyclocross season, I'll be working to bring you race videos with a little something extra. I'll be showing highlights of key moments of each event, along with some tips and post-race analysis. The caveat being that as a Cat 3, you'll only be getting Cat 3 advice. Here's some footage from a pre-season practice race at Verdugo Park in Glendale, California. The start to a race is super important. Your position in the starting grid counts for a lot. So when this nice guy from Boulder Cycle Sport wants to move back, I'm happy to oblige. Now you can see here the two main starting techniques. Bailey on my left is already sitting on the saddle, one foot on the ground. The two guys on my right are straddling the top tube ready to pounce. Both are fine, just find what works for you and make sure you practice. The goal of the start is to clip in and get going as quickly as possible, and then try to get to the first corner or technical section in your best position. I'm moving up to take the inside high line for the first right left. With a decent start, I found myself in second place, but honestly, I was hurting pretty bad trying to follow Bailey. I had to make a conscious decision to pace myself and not put myself into the hurt locker in the first 90 seconds. On the second lap, I take the low line right before the barriers, but this opened myself up for a pass. This rider demonstrates dirty side dismounting and mounting, not something that you see often. He passes me, but I'll see him again. Getting past, then later passing the same person, will be a recurring theme in this race. The next lap through, the rider in front of me snaps the tape, which slows him down. I attack on the left to make the pass. Avoiding objects on course is great advice, which I should have listened to, as you'll soon see. We're at the point in the race where I really need to think about pacing. I draft when I can, and I try to be smart about which wheels to follow. The guy I just passed is now passing me. Recurring theme, remember? Now Jay is passing me. Watch how he tackles these barriers. One takeaway from Jay's technique is his economy of movement. Notice that he lifts the bike only enough to clear the barriers, no more, no less. Once someone passes you, you have to start thinking of places you can pass them back. You have to look for openings, like the one Jay gives me going into this left-hand hairpin. I sneak inside on the left, right before the sandpit. So remember the advice about avoiding coarse objects? Shoulder, say hello to Mr. Tree Trunk. This is the kind of stuff that happens when you're tired. I get knocked off my line, and Norm passes me on the inside. At this point, I'm now back into 7th place. The next rider to pass me is Adam Mills with Source Endurance. He's a good rider and has way more experience than I do. You can see how he prevents me from passing him by moving to the left, then taking the inside apex around the right-hand corner. Smart racing. So we don't have a ton of sand here in SoCal, but it still pays off to know how to ride it. Pick a low to moderate gear, spin, and look for the traction. It's usually in an area of packed down sand or in a rut. And don't forget to keep spinning. So remember that recurring theme of passing and getting past? Well, with 1.5 laps to go, everyone started bunching up. Adam and I passed the team rider on the right, then Danger passes me in the trees. Sometimes a group of people come to the finishing laps together, so you have to start thinking about your tactics. This is different from when you're solo. When you're solo, you just have to put your head down and go. Through the sand with 2 laps to go. Oh hey, there's Jay. He passed me a couple laps ago, and now I'm passing him. This is also a good time to compare riding versus running through the sand. Like many course features, if you can ride it, it's usually faster. Not always faster, but usually faster. Okay, bell lap. I've passed Bailey and I'm riding solo in 5th place. I look up and I see 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right in front of me. I tell myself I gotta dig deep and leave it all out there. There's no point in saving matches at the finish of the race. So, digging deep worked. I'm in reach of Danger, who's now sitting in 4th place. We go over the barriers for the last time, and my mind is going through all the permutations of how I'm going to pass him. Sometimes, though, you just have to hold the wheel till your competitor opens the door. Danger goes wide in this left-hand corner, and I pass on the inside. As I hit the sand, I'm in 4th place, and I see the lead guys in front of me. Going through the sand, I take a calculated risk. I see everyone bunching up on the left-hand side, so I try to go on the right and shoot through the inside. And the door gets shut. Danger is smart. He sees the melee ahead of him and he's already off his bike. He runs past me. However, I still have the inside line and I don't have to remount. As he clips in, I start my sprint and throw my bike at the line. I keep it upright in 4th place. After the race, I reflected on some pointers to help me improve. Number 1, pacing is really important. I went from 2nd to 8th, then back to 4th. If I had pinned it the entire first lap, I would have finished worse. Don't worry about people passing you as long as you are pacing yourself. If they burn out, you'll pass them later. And if they're faster than you, well, you wouldn't have beat them anyway. Point 2. There isn't much passing in the straights. Most passing takes place in corners, sketchy areas, or technical sections. So you better get good at riding those things, because it'll be a huge advantage come race day. And finally, don't forget to have fun. Cyclocross can be as serious or as laid back as you want it to be. So that's it. Check back regularly for more race analysis and tips. Constructive comments are always welcome, and check out my blog at crossdoc.wordpress.com. And I hope to see you out at the races.